Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded. And one last thing. Don't forget to be awesome. So yeah, don't forget to be awesome. And yeah, man, sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about AEW Rampage for October the 1st, 2021. So yeah, man. Overall, with this show, man, it was fine. It was okay. Not really much happened on tonight's show. Not nothing big happened on tonight's show besides the Bryan Danielson and Nick Jackson match. That's the only thing. And yeah, that was pretty much it. We had a hair versus hair match. We had a hair versus hair match, a triple threat match with the women. And yeah, that was pretty much it. But the Bryan and Nick Jackson match was probably the biggest thing that happened on the show. It was the biggest thing that happened on the show. But yeah, but tonight's show, man, it flew by really quickly. Flew by really quickly. And yeah, nothing really much happened. Nothing big happened on tonight's show. But overall, it was decent. It was okay. But yeah, man. So yeah, man. So yeah, that was it, man. That was it with Rampage, man. That was it. And so yeah, man. I say this all the time in my intro, man. If you haven't done this already, man, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here every single week, man. Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, of course. Thursdays for Impact Wrestling. Fridays for AEW Rampage. And Saturdays and Sundays are for pay-per-views, man. WWE pay-per-views, AEW pay-per-views, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views, man. And so yeah, man. So once again, we were live in Rochester, New York, home of the late great Mr. Brody Lee. And so yeah, man. So we started off the show with the Bryan Danielson. We had Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson with Matt Jackson and Brandon Cutler in his corner. So yeah, man, really good match, man. Match did start off slow. But things started to pick up. And so yeah, man. So both of these guys, they were using their speed and athleticism against each other. And so Bryan, he had a tope suicida to Nick. And at that point, Nick, he was showing off. He was spraying himself with Cutler spray. And so, yeah, we had a diving drop kick to Nick. And then Bryan, he had took control of the match at that point. And so, yeah, man, we had a rebound lariat to Bryan. And we had a Juji Katami submission move to Nick. And then Nick put his foot on a rope. And then Bryan, he went right after Nick's arm. And then Bryan, he went for a corner drop kick, but he missed it. And so Matt, he took out Bryan. So Matt Jackson, he had took Bryan, he speared him. He speared Bryan Danielson outside the ring behind the referee's back. So the referee did not see it. And so, yeah, man. And so that gave Nick the advantage. So Nick took control of the match during the commercial break. Picture in picture, of course. And so, yeah, man. We had a bulldog to Bryan, and then Nick, he hit the yes kicks of his own. So Nick hit some yes kicks to Bryan, and Bryan no sold it, and he kept asking it. He kept asking for more, and so yeah, Bryan he ate those kicks, man. Really ate those kicks, and so yeah, man. And yeah, Bryan he got back up and he spit in Nick Jackson's face. So that was very very disgusting, man, to spit in somebody's face. And so yeah, man. And so Bryan he hit the yes kicks to Nick, and Nick kicks out. And then we had a corner drop kicks, series of corner drop kicks to Nick. And right after the last one, he tried to hit. Right after that last corner drop kick, he tried to hit on Nick. Nick had caught him with a super kick. And yeah, man. And then Nick went for a 450 splash, but Bryan had got the knees up. And so yeah, and Bryan he locked in the label lock, so he's not calling it the yes lock, he's calling it the label lock, going back to his roots as the label lock. So he locked in the label lock to Nick, and then Nick put his foot on the rope. And yeah, man, we had yes kicks to Nick on the ring apron. And so yeah, at that point, Bryan he right after he tried to go for that last kick of the yes kick, he kicked the ring post. So he accidentally kicked the ring post. And so yeah, man, we had a Escalara to a Bryan outside the ring. And yeah, man. And then Nick at that point, Nicky accidentally PK kicked Brandon Cutler because Brandon Cutler was in the way. Brandon Cutler was in the way. He was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and he got PK kicked by Nick by accident. And so yeah, man. And we had a German suplex to Nick on the outside floor. And then Bryan he took out Matt. You know, because Matt he was distracting the referee, and so Bryan had took him out. And so we had a tiger suplex to Nick. And so to end the match, man, we had a cattle mutilation submission move to Nick to win the match. So Nick taps out. So therefore, Bryan Danielson wins the match. And so right after the match, the Elite that came out and they went to go check on Nick Jackson, and you had the Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. They came out to check on Bryan Danielson. And so yeah, so they went to go check on their guys, and so they ended up fighting. So they ended up brawling. And so yeah, so Kenny Omega he left, he got out of the ring, and the rest of the Elite they are fighting off Jungle Boy and Christian Cage. And so yeah, man, and so yeah, Jungle Boy he actually locked in the snare trap submission move to Adam Cole. And so the baby faces they were calling Kenny Omega to the ring, and so the crowd started chanting "No balls, Kenny," or "Kenny no balls, Kenny no balls," and all that stuff. And so Kenny he ran into the ring, and so Bryan had locked in the label lock on Kenny Omega, and so both of these guys had tapped out. Both of these guys had tapped out. I did not like that part. Did not like that part. Like just having them tap out, man. You know, it's not even a match. It's not even a match. But you had them tap out, man. You had them tap out. It kind of made them look weak. Kind of make them look weak. You could have easily beat them down. Could have easily beaten them down, or just lock them in a submission move. Why do they have to tap out? That's the one thing I understand. But yeah, man. But other than that, man, great match, man. To start off the show, great match. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Will Powerhouse Hobbs. He was backstage with Hook, and so Hobbs he showed a video of Ricky Starks talking about Brian Cage, and Starks saying that he's not gonna back down to Brian Cage. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so Ricky Starks he joined commentary. He joined the commentary team, and he was on commentary the entire night. And so right after that, man, CM Punk, we had a vignette of CM Punk. He spoke, and he talked about his win over Hobbs, and Punk having experience over Hobbs. That's what led to his victory, having experience over Hobbs, which gave Punk the advantage, the fact that he has experience. And so Punk, he has said that he has a target on his back. He have a target on his back, and he likes it. He likes it that way. And so Punk, he says that he want to face the best. He wants to face the best. And if anybody wants to step up, now's your time to step up. And so yeah, so that was it with that. So who's next for Punk? Who's next for Punk? I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, I have a lot. I have a lot of people that I want Punk in the ring with, man. Bryan, Cole, Adam Cole, Malachi Black. You know who else? Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, maybe Chris Jericho again, so they could relive their feud. Anybody, man. Pretty much everybody, man. Oh yeah, MJF another one that I want to see in the ring with Punk. Yeah, man. Can you imagine the mic work, man, between the promo work between MJF and CM Punk, dude? But two of the best on the microphone, and to see these two guys go back and forth, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that, bro? Can you imagine that? But yeah, man, I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait for it, bro. Cannot wait for it. But yeah, man. So yeah, so that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had a triple threat match, and it was Jade Cargill with Smart Mark Sterling in her corner versus Nyla Rose with Vickie Guerrero in her corner versus Thunder Rosa. And so yeah, so Rosa, she used her speed against Rose and Cargill, and then Rose hit the World's Strongest Slam to Rosa, and Cargill had broke up the pin, and so Nyla Rose and Cargill went back and forth, and so Cargill had caught Rose with a pump kick, and so we had a missile drop kick to Cargill from Rosa, and we had a drop kick to Cargill from not yeah, drop kick to Cargill from Rosa in the chest, like she caught her straight in the chest, man. And then we had a drop kick. So Thunder Rosa, she had brought in a trash can, and she had put the trash can in Jade Cargill's chest, on her chest, and so she hit the drop kick on into the trash can on her chest. And so yeah, man, so we had a spine buster to Rose from Cargill, and then Rose hit a neck breaker to Cargill, and then yeah, man, and then we had a power bomb. So we had a power bomb through the table. So yeah, they had a table that was outside the ring, and then Thunder Rosa, she had power bombed Rose through the table outside the ring. And so yeah, man. And so to end the match, man, we had Jade Cargill. She hit Thunder Rosa with chair shots over and over and over again to win. So Jade Cargill beats Thunder Rosa. She pinned Thunder Rosa in the middle of the ring. So Jade Cargill wins the match. And I was shocked, man. I was absolutely shocked that she pinned Thunder Rosa. She pinned Thunder Rosa. You know, like I was expecting Thunder Rosa to win. I really was. I was expecting Thunder Rosa to win, and she was probably one of my picks to be that next contender for the AEW Women's Championship. But yeah, man, might be Jade Cargill. She's getting closer to that AEW Women's Championship, but she's not there yet. Not there yet. But yeah, man. Yeah, shocking that Jade Cargill won tonight. And so yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with that. And so yeah, man. Right after that, man, we had Malakai Black. He spoke. It was a vignette. So Malakai Black, he talked about Cody Rhodes, and he talked about the black mist, and that the black mist came from the heart, and he hoped that the black mist ate Cody Rhodes up inside. And so Black, he has said that he still has plenty of toll to collect in AEW. So yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with that. So yeah, man. Malakai Black is another one, man, that I want to see Punk in the ring with. Malakai Black versus CM Punk. Yes, that is a money match. Punk versus anybody is a money match. But yeah, man. So yeah, so right after that, man, before we get into the main event, man, let's talk about next week's show. Let's talk about next week's show. Talk about next week's show for the anniversary show for Dynamite. So yeah, man. So we have the Elite. So that's Kenny Omega, who is the AEW World Champion, Adam Cole, and the Young Bucks with Don Callis in their corner versus Bryan Danielson, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage, the Impact World Champion, in the 8-man tag team match. And also we have Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb. And we have Sammy Guevara. So a TNT Championship match. So it's going to be Sammy Guevara, the TNT Champion, the new TNT Champion, versus Bobby Fish. So this is an open challenge match. So Bobby Fish, he challenged Sammy Guevara to a title match. And so yeah, man. So Bobby Fish is going to be in AEW. And so yeah, man. So yeah, and also we have the ladder match. We have the casino ladder match. And the winner will have a world championship match. World Championship title match. So the participants in this match is Pac, the Bastard Pac, Andrade El Idolo, Jon Moxley, Lance Archer, and we found out the other two were Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy. And we have the Joker. We don't know who the Joker is, but the last two before the Joker were Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy. And so yeah, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it for what's gonna happen next week. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Mark Henry, he Orange Cassidy, interviews Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy with Jack Evans for the main event. So yeah, so Orange Cassidy at first he didn't know that it was a hair versus hair match. Like he was unaware of the stipulation of the match and all that stuff. And so Henry had to remind Orange Cassidy like, hey man, it's a hair versus hair match. And so Orange Cassidy he was like, well, my reaction, I guess, I have to win this match. I have to win this match then. And so yeah, so that was it with the interview. And so right after that, man, we had the hair versus hair match. We had the hair versus hair match, and it was Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans with Matt Hardy in his corner. So yeah, man. So Hardy he tried to interfere in the match, the entire match, and so we had a roll up to Cassidy. He kicks out, and then we had the most devastating kicks to Evans, and then Hardy he took out Orange outside the ring behind the referee's back, and then we had a diving spinning kick to Orange off of the ring apron, and then Jack Evans he had a 450 splash off the ring apron. So that was really nice. And so yeah, so Evans he took control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture. And then Orange he took out Hardy and Evans with a tope suicida. And well, double tope suicidas. He hit one on Evans and then he hit one on Matt Hardy. And we had a diving crossbody to Evans and we had a Northern Light suplex. And we had a standing sky twister to Orange Cassidy. And then Evans he missed the Phoenix splash. And then we had a tornado DDT to Orange. And then yeah, man. And then Orange Cassidy he had a diving DDT to Evans, and Evans he landed right on his head, man. And he kicks out. And so we had the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny that came out with Matt Hardy. And so we had Chuck Taylor, Willie Utah, and Chris Statlander. They blocked the ring area. They blocked the ring area so that the Hardy family office could not get involved. And so Hardy he brought out the rest of the Hardy family office, and then the Dark Order came out to even up the odds. So they blocked the ringway. And so yeah, man. And so to end the match, man, we had Orange Cassidy hit the orange punch to Evans to win the match. So Orange Cassidy wins the match, and Jack Evans will get his head shaved bald tonight. And so yeah, man. So right after the match, they were getting ready to shave his head. And so yeah, man. So in Helico, Jack Evans' tag team partner, he tried to get in to try to stop these guys from shaving his head. And so somebody had punched him in his face, and so he and knocked him out. And so yeah, man, and yeah, so yeah, they were getting ready to cut his hair, and so Hardy, the Hardy family office is asking Matt Hardy like, hey, like what exactly are we gonna do? And so Hardy he was like, let's get out of here, man, let's retreat. And so that's what they did. They retreated, and I was like, what are you doing? Retreat? We're about to leave our friend in there, about to leave Jack Evans in there. Like, no, we got to go in there and save him. Like, no, we're going to retreat. We're about to leave right now. And so they left. So the Hardy family office left. And so, yeah, so Jack Evans got his head shaved. He got his head shaved. Orange Cassidy cut the ponytail off. And then Willie Utah and Chuck Taylor, they took turns shaving the hair. And so, yeah, so that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it. And, yeah, man. Yeah, there was no way Orange Cassidy was getting his head shaved bald. There was no way. A bald Orange Cassidy, really? And then with these hair versus hair matches, man, the heels they usually lose the match in a hair versus hair match. It's very rare that a babyface get their head shaved bald. When is the last time a babyface in a hair versus hair match got their head shaved bald? It's usually the heels getting their head shaved bald. So yeah, man. So that was it, man. That was it with the show, man. That was it with the show. Not really much happened to me. Not much really happened. But the Bryan Danielson and the Nick Jackson match was probably the most important on the show. Probably the most important thing on the show. But yeah, man, and that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it with that. Now, yeah, now with SmackDown, I did watch SmackDown. I did watch the entire show, but I'm not gonna review it. I didn't take any notes on SmackDown, but I do have the draft. I'm gonna talk about the draft and what I thought about the draft on night one. So yeah, man. So yeah, so round one, man, we had the So yeah, for the overall pick, man, we have Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, as going to SmackDown, going to SmackDown, being drafted to SmackDown, and I was like, man, dude, he's already on SmackDown. He's already on SmackDown, so why is he getting drafted to SmackDown? Why he's getting drafted to a show that he's already on? That's the thing, and then he's a champion, and so like, and then yeah, it was confusing. Like it was like stuff with the draft, man. It felt like it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense, dude, because like champions getting drafted like they shouldn't be drafted. They shouldn't get drafted because they're like the Raw Women's Champion, for example. Charlotte Flair, she got drafted to SmackDown. Like, why is she getting drafted to SmackDown when she's the Raw Women's Champion? Like, why couldn't nobody else get drafted to SmackDown? Like, champions should be exempt from drafting. They should be exempt from drafts because they holding a brand's championship. It's not gonna make any sense. And that's how it always been. Champions never got drafted, unless there's a start of a brand split. Like if there wasn't a brand split and you have all these champions, then yeah, that's when champions get drafted. But we already have a brand split. We already have a brand split, so why are the champions moving around? It should be the non-champions getting drafted. Yeah, and then another thing, man, with the champions getting drafted to a show that they already on. Like, dude, it's like when you drafting a champion that's already on the show, that's already on their respective brand. Like you wasting a drafting spot. You wasting a spot for a person that should be drafted. You just wasting a spot for a person that should be drafted, and you wasted on a champion being drafted to a show that they already on. Like, dude, that stuff don't make any sense. It don't make any sense at all. But yeah, man. So yeah. So the first round, man, for night one, we have Roman Reigns, Big E, the WWE champion, Roman Reigns, the Universal champion. So yeah, so Roman Reigns is going to SmackDown, or he's staying on SmackDown as Universal Champion. Big E is Big E is going to Monday Night Raw as the WWE Champion. Charlotte Flair is going to SmackDown as the Raw Women's Champion, and Bianca Belair is going to Monday Night Raw. And also in round two, we have Drew McIntyre going to SmackDown, so that's a great move for Drew McIntyre. He ain't had nothing else to do on Raw, so being on SmackDown probably the best move for him. And so yeah, we had the Raw Tag Team Champions, Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, RK Bro, who are the Raw Tag Team Champions, staying on Raw, are getting drafted to Raw. I don't know why the champions getting drafted. But yeah, we had the New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston going to SmackDown. So this is the second time in the draft that the New Day got split. The last time the New Day went to Raw and Big E stayed on SmackDown. So this time it's the other way around. Big E is going to Raw and New Day staying on SmackDown. And also we have Edge, the Rated R Superstar, going to Monday Night Raw. So yeah, Edge, before WrestleMania, he was already on Monday Night Raw. He was on Monday Night Raw and he went to SmackDown as a Raw Superstar, and now he's going to Raw. So yeah, that was round two. So round three, we had Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, the former Riddick Moss, and Happy Corbin, or Baron Corbin. Happy Corbin, dude, like really? Like Happy Corbin, dude, how you gonna get over with that name? So yeah, he got drafted. So they getting drafted to SmackDown. Are they staying on SmackDown? We have the Women's Tag Team Champions, Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH, going to Monday Night Raw. Now with this, the Women's Tag Team Champions, I don't know why this rule should apply to them. They're the Women's Tag Team Champions. They can go to any show they want because they're the Women's Tag Team Champions, and the Women's Tag Team Championships is a floating championship. It goes from brand to brand to brand. And also, man, we have Hit Row. We have Hit Row coming up to the main roster from NXT. So we have our first NXT call up in a draft, and that's Hit Row. So that's Isaiah Swerve Scott, the NXT North American Champion, Top Dollar, Ashante, The Adonis, and B-Fab. And so yeah, man. So I'm assuming that sooner rather than later, Isaiah Swerve Scott, he's gonna drop that North American Championship to Santos Escobar because they're feuding with Legado del Fantasma on NXT. So yeah, man. And also in the final person in the third round is Keith Lee, or Keith Bearcat Lee. And so yeah, so he's getting drafted to Raw. Now with Keith Lee, or he's staying on Monday Night Raw, Keith Lee, I would have moved him to SmackDown. Something new for him. Like, give him something new to do. Like, now you want to portray him as a heel. Like why not send him to a new show instead of just keeping them in the same place. But yeah, so Keith Lee, he's gonna stay on Raw, and also in round 4, in the final round for night 1, we have Naomi staying on SmackDown, and yeah, of course, because of the Usos, they're on SmackDown. So yeah, and also, man, we have the Mysterio. So we have Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. They're going to Monday Night Raw. I would have kept them on SmackDown, but yeah, they're going to Raw. Jeff Hardy is going to SmackDown, and also in the final member that's getting drafted on night 1 is Austin Theory from NXT. So this is our second NXT call up. So yeah, so Austin Theory is going to Monday Night Raw, and he is screwed, man. And yeah, so Austin Theory is no longer a member of the Way. They had took him away from Johnny Gargano to put him on Monday Night Raw. My God, man, no, 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 no. But yeah, man, that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it with the draft for night 1. Night 2 will be on Monday Night Raw. Now, they said that the draft will go in effect in 3 weeks. So right after 3 weeks, then everybody's supposed to be on their designated shows. And so yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with the draft, man. Like just like what I said before. Since there's already a brand split, like why are the champions getting moved around? Like Roman Reigns, he shouldn't be eligible for the draft because he's the Universal Champion on SmackDown. He should be like champions should not be drafted unless there wasn't a brand split. Unless there wasn't a brand split. Now for the 2016 draft, there wasn't a brand split. The brand split was over. The brand split wasn't even a thing in 2016. Now when they brought it back in 2016, they moved the champions around because you have to choose a champion and represent which show. That's how the Universal Championship got created. The WWE champion was drafted to SmackDown, so Raw needed a world champion, and so that's when they created the Universal Championship. And so yeah, that's the only time champions should be moved around. Champions should not be moved around in a brand split. They shouldn't, man. They should not. But yeah, that was it with the draft. That was it with the draft, man. More to come. More to come. Now with NXT, man, it is another thing, man. This is the first time in a long time that they included NXT in the draft. Out of all these years that they had the draft in a shakeup, now is your first time that you want to include NXT. Now you want to include NXT. Now when they brought it in 2016, yes, they included NXT, but yeah, the years after that, the next time they had the draft, year after year after year, never brought anybody up from NXT. Never sent anybody down to NXT. Like why are we taking people from NXT and not putting people down in NXT? That's what I don't get, man. But now all of a sudden they want to include NXT in this draft now because it's not in Triple H's hand anymore. It's not even in his hands anymore. It's in Bruce Pritchard's and Vince McMahon's hands. But yeah, man, that's it, man. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the draft, man. Those are my thoughts. Some drafts were great moves. Some were great moves. Jeff Hardy being on SmackDown, great move. Drew McIntyre going to SmackDown is a great move. And yeah, those are only ones, man. Keith Lee, I would have moved him to SmackDown. I would have moved Keith Lee to SmackDown. And Hit Row, man, Hit Row is too early. It was too early for them to call them up. Like you called up Hit Row up too early. And they just debuted how long ago did they debut? Like months and months and months ago. And you calling them up on the main roster, man. But yeah, that was it with the draft, man. That was it. And yeah, man, and this is the AEW Rampage review for October the 1st, 2021, and also my thoughts on the draft for night 1 for SmackDown. And yeah, man, and if you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're new to the Ryan Awesome Show, hit that subscribe button, man. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know my next video is uploaded because I am here every single week. And yeah, man, follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, And yeah, follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, I'm here Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Fridays for AEW Rampage, Saturdays and Sundays are for WWE pay-per-views, AEW pay-per-views, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views on Saturdays and Sundays. And yeah, man. And if you missed last week's review of AEW Rampage, the video is going to be right up here in this corner. And the link to that video will be down below in the description, man. Be down below in the description. So you can either click up here or click down below. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys on possibly Monday. Possibly Monday. I'll talk about the draft for night 2 on Monday. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the love and the support for the show. Thank you, and thank you, man. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.